What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Dirt2Dust podcast. It might look a little different, might sound a little bit different today. That's because I have a guest here. Last time I was just talking to the camera by my little lonesome, but this time I got a guest. Everybody welcome Caleb Forbes. He is the marketing and media director for Outlaw Offroad. Super happy to have him here. Caleb, how you doing, man? Welcome.
Oh man, I'm good. It's funny. This is not just the first podcast that I've been on, but the first time I've been in front of the camera for Outlaw Offroad.
No.
Yeah. I'm always behind the camera. Yeah, for all of the let's get after it. That was you. I set up everything and I stand behind it and make sure everything's going exactly to plan.
Welcome to this side of the camera, my friend. Welcome.
I think I might have put like one video on YouTube on my personal channel like years ago.
All right, so look, you can't be better than me. All right, because I do this all the time, and I already tell people that I suck. So you can't not suck.
I suck.
Okay, all right. So as long as you suck equal to or more than me, we're good.
We're good. My mom says I got a face for radio, so this is kind of radio, kind of.
It kind of is.
It'll be on YouTube, but
it really is radio. I mean, it really is just a podcast. But I know some people like to watch kind of the process of what we do and how we set it up and kind of how we do it.
I'm a visual person.
So
I listen to podcasts all day, but if I've got something I can reference back to it and watch,
totally get it.
It's cool too.
Totally get it. So the idea here was there are several topics that we came up with for the podcast that really needed more than one person to talk about. They were back and forths. They were, it really needed to be not really maybe debate style, but maybe we can do something like that. But they just need more than one person. So this was definitely one of those that we wanted to have two people. And I'm happy you piped up and said, "Hey, me." Didn't know it was gonna be your first time, but hey, awesome.
Well, I mean, that's the benefit of being in a marketing position is I get to help you figure out what we're going to talk about. Love it. This is one of those things.
So today we're going to talk about trails, and more specifically, our top 3 favorite trails.
Now, are these top 3 that We've
been on them. We've been on. These are 3 trips. We've been on them. We wheeled them. We haven't VR'd them or whatever. We've wheeled them.
So not the ones that I've watched on the 360 like GoPro cameras through Moab experience.
I'm gonna say no, although I can't guarantee that I'm gonna know you're telling the truth. I'm just gonna have to trust your honesty here.
Well, or there's actually a game out. A little side note. I think it's called like BeamNG.drive. It's a PC game, and I don't really know if it's actually technically a game. It was originally designed as a physics simulator for crash testing, but it's an open source kind of platform. There have been, one guy, a team of people, they've actually made Johnson Valley on this game.
No way.
Yeah. Including Hammertown, including the gas
Hammertown?
station, including the one gas station that everyone goes to.
Jeez. There's that one gas station.
And the short course. They've got like a solid axle car, an IFS car, a modified Jeep, some buggies, a T1 trophy truck.
You gotta be kidding me.
So if you've got like a really realistic simulator, you can actually go wheel.
So you're telling me I'm just wasting my money going to KOH every year, basically. I don't have to go anymore.
Absolutely. So if I call out for the next couple of days, it's because I'm preparing for the race more than you're preparing for the race.
Yeah, I'm not even there. Man, I'm gonna start virtually pre-running.
So
I tell you what, man, we live in weird times.
But I think this is pretty cool because you've got a lot more experience wheeling than I do. I have not wheeled since 2019.
Yeah, so this should be interesting.
I've been working on a LJ that's in progress, which is finally getting there. So I'm hoping to add some more of these trails to my top favorites maybe this year.
Well, maybe you'll give me some ideas. Maybe I'll give you some ideas. But
absolutely. One
thing to note for everybody watching or listening, we don't know each other's answers already.
Right.
I don't know. I've got notes. He's got notes. I can't see. He can't see.
I called Doug earlier in the week and I was like, look, man, I'd love to be on the podcast. Let's talk about our favorite trails. I was like, but I want you to make your notes. I'm going to make my notes. We're going to come together. We're going to do this. I have no clue what yours are.
This is going to really suck if all 3 of ours are exactly the same.
It better not.
This is going to be a really short podcast. We're going to be 5 minutes done. We don't have anything else to talk about. Well, let's do it, man. Let's go. I want to hear yours. Let's start out with you.
Okay.
Give me your. We'll go 3 to 1.
Okay.
Give me your number 3 favorite trail that you have wheeled. Go.
Number 3. And this has to be preluded because on a normal setting, it's actually an easy trail. I think it's rated like a 4.
Look, if you tell me Target's parking lot, I'm coming across this table.
The big red ball.
Well, that makes it like a 5.
Yeah. No, specifically though, at night,
Okay.
And even better if it's a full moon because you can kill the headlights and only run rock lights
Okay.
and moonlight,
Where are we going with this?
fins and things.
Moab,
Utah.
Okay. All right.
So fins is one of those things. The first time I wheeled at night, it kind of changed my perspective on things. It really it forces you to really hone in on what's in front of you. Forces you to stay on the black marks, the
famous Moab black marks.
Yeah, famous Moab black marks.
Just follow the tracks.
Follow the tracks. But at night, those tracks are a little bit harder to see, especially the environment around you. But if you've got a full moon, you still get a really cool view, but it really makes things different. Like the drop-offs feel so much steeper because now you can't see the bottom of the drop-offs. And it's one of those things like during the daytime, fins and things, if I brought my fiance out or a buddy of mine that's never really been in the Jeep, I could throw him in the passenger seat and it's going to scare the crap out of him. But you're planted the whole time. Like you're solid. You're good. It's not one of those Moab trails like, is it Cliffhanger or one of those ones that you have to skate around a rock when you're looking at a 2,000 foot drop. It's not that. It's not top of the world. But it can be done, and it can actually be done quickly. It can be done in like 2 hours at night, and you can dip out. So for a number 3, just for a slightly iconic, but also a great time, especially at night, I got to go with fins and things.
I like that. I like it during the day because of the views. And I've used that trail as a shakedown trail for numerous repairs while we were at EJS or while we've been out at Moab for whenever we go. So I like it during the day. I like it because, like you just said, you can dip out. You can make it as short or as long as you want. We rented side-by-sides one year. I think we did the whole trail in like 50 minutes.
just you can bomb through it
just
side-by-side.
Bombed it. But then we've gone in Jeeps and I've gone out there and taken 5-6 hours to do it. I went out. I've done it at night too. And you're absolutely right. 100% right. It is a totally different trail at night when you can't see way off and see the mountains and all that. 100%
brings
different.
A little bit more of like a sense of being a little scared because at some of those,
you're forced to focus.
With some of those fins, you really can't see the bottom.
For sure.
Like, is this a 6-foot drop or is this a 20-foot drop?
And most people, yes, it's rated as an easy trail. Most people are not used to being in a vehicle that goes that steep up or that steep down.
Right.
They've done trails. They've gone to their local trail. They've gone to their local off-road park or whatever, but they haven't seen something that steep.
Right.
You know, they haven't gone up 30 plus degrees, down 30. They haven't done that. And just for that, is it technically hard? No way. Like you said, firmly planted the whole time. You're in no danger.
Right.
Which is why it's a 4.
4 low, and you don't even have to touch the brakes most of the time.
But you don't feel that way your first time out there.
Right.
You feel like you're going to roll
You're about to
at
die.
about 50 different places.
Yeah.
So I can get with that being in your top 3. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not bad with that. Especially considering my number 3. We're going to go a little bit of a dichotomy here. I'm coming back to the East Coast.
Okay.
And I'm going to go way the other side of the difficulty scale. And we are going to find ourselves in a little place in Tennessee called Windrock Park. I love Windrock Park.
See, I've only wheeled 15 in Windrock. And it was a shorter day, but
so much of Windrock.
So
I love it.
Windrock in Smoky Mountains.
It is officially known as Trail 40, more affectionately known as Rail Trail. A lot of people that are going to be Rail Trail. It is a couple different ways to get to it. I've always liked it because really the official start is the little creek crossing, but there's a couple ways to get to it. You can drop in off the G3 road. You can drop in off 3, several ways to do 3, easy drop in all the way up to full on buggy stuff. I've taken body damage on my own Jeep there running buggy stuff, like bad body damage. And then you come down a little rock garden, you go through this like half-mile long swamp, and then you go through some trail and boom, you're there. You're at the bottom of the creek crossing. You look left and holy crap, it's up this, just straight up this mountain. And it's just rocks and boulders and logs everywhere. And it's just like this crazy S. And then it's crazy. When it gets wet, it's probably more like it's rated as a double black. I think when it's wet, it's like a quadruple or quintuple black.
Okay.
But I love it. I've been on it several times. I've been on it where we've done it in 2-3 hours. I've been on it where it took 12 hours.
Ooh, that's a long time.
You know, you're only one break away. And that trail, I mean, most of the time when I've gone on that trail, and I've probably done that trail 11 or 12 times, probably. Definitely double digits, but probably not quite teens. I think I've only made it through that trail with my group clean, no breaks, twice.
Wow.
Twice.
That's number 3.
And I need to find some wood to knock on because I have not broken on that trail.
Metal, but
I have not actually broken on that trail yet. But now that I've said it, next time I go, I'm gonna break an axle in half or something. But yeah, it's a difficult trail. So as far as when I looked at the top three, which is kind of why I like that you said let's do the top three and no other caveats.
Yeah,
just pick your top three. Don't tell me. Yeah. So my brain went to, well, what's difficult but fun?
Right.
Like what can I do that's technically challenging, that's hard, that maybe people haven't heard of? Maybe I'm bringing a trail to somebody that they haven't heard of.
Yes, yeah, I've never heard of rail trails, so that
right. So, but that it's also fun to do it, and maybe I'm just a glutton for punishment. I keep going back to it. I probably am, but I love it. It is hard. Again, like when it gets wet, and it's one of those trails that brings out that age old debate of East Coast wheeling versus West Coast wheeling.
Ooh, that's a podcast topic.
You get a crazy hard, you get what's considered a crazy hard trail out west, put that up against something like a rail trail, and you could go on.
Different beasts.
I mean, everybody knows how I feel. I'm an East Coast guy. I live here on the East Coast, but I do go all over the country. And for me, I think, sorry, West Coast guys, I think East Coast wheeling's harder, but
that's
feel free.
A good topic. Like anybody watching, we love to see the arguments in the comments, actually. East Coast versus West Coast wheeling.
I'll get in that argument.
And give me a reason why, though. Don't just say West Coast because West is best. But no, give me a reason.
West is best, East is least. I've heard that one before.
And I've heard the great debate that there are no big trees in West Coast wheeling. We got trees on East Coast wheeling.
Do they know how to spell tree?
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, so let us know in the comments what's harder.
Yeah, I like that.
What do you guys enjoy wheeling more?
That may be you may see that coming to a Dirt2Dust podcast.
That might be one.
I would do that. I would actually welcome that. I would get a West Coaster. We'll get them on the phone. We'll get them on an interview, and we'll go back. We'll do it. I have no problem. That might be fun. That might be fun. That could cause some debate. So yeah, man, we started out. That's pretty strong for number 3. So
if that's a 3 pick for you, I'm kind of excited to see where you're going with this because, like I said, my wheeling.
I'll give it to you right now.
All right,
I'll give it to you right now. Trail number 2, my runner-up to best trail ever, my favorite, Moab, Utah. We're going back.
Okay,
but it definitely ain't Vinson things.
Ooh.
Good old Pritchett Canyon.
Oh, no way.
Absolutely. Right. I love Pritchett Canyon.
Full transparency. You can't see what I'm working on here. I've spin my laptop around. My number 2 is also Pritchett Canyon.
No way.
It is. I want to hear your reasoning.
So not only do we have the same trail on our list, we have it at the same place.
We have the same place.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I want to hear what your reasoning is because I've never wheeled with you on Pritchett Canyon. I've wheeled with a completely different group of people. So that experience might be a little bit different.
So mine, I've kind of got 3 reasons. Number 1 is not that it's a long trail. It's not. It's 5, 6, 7 miles long, depending on what you consider the start and finish. But it's just obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. Yeah. And the obstacles that are there are iconic. These are ones that our entire YouTube videos are focused on. Chewy Hill, you've got Axle Hill, you've got
Rocker Knocker.
I mean, these are just pile. Not only is you've got one of the most iconic wheeling locations in the world, Moab, Utah. One of the most iconic trails in Moab, Pritchett, and then you just got iconic after iconic after iconic obstacle in these. Like, I could see this being a number 1 trail on a lot of people's lists.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It is, when you look at these every year, EJS, Easter Jeep Safari, for those who don't know, generally the first week of April every year in Moab, they put out that guide of what all the ratings are. We referred to it earlier with the 4 at Fins and things. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Pritchett is a 9.
Makes sense to me.
And so just by default of people seeing that, I think most people stay away from it.
Yeah.
They don't want to go to it.
It's a tough one. Like that's one of the things I rank my EJS group of people wheelers that I'm wheeling with. If we wake up in the morning,
they want to go to there
and first beginning of the week, someone says, "Hey, Pritchett Canyon," and everyone's like, "Ooh." And I don't want to be pretentious, but
no, I've met those
maybe
groups.
That's the group that you're going to have more of a longevity week. It's going to be iconic trail after iconic trail, but you're not going to see a lot of people going full send on anything. But if you're with the group Monday morning, everyone's like, "Hey, Pritchett," and everyone's like, "Yeah."
Oh, absolutely. It's a Gilberto's breakfast burrito.
Yep.
With the hot sauce.
And it's
Pritchett Canyon.
Absolutely.
That's a day for me. Like, it doesn't get much better in Moab than that for me.
No,
I absolutely love it. I think it's awesome that that's yours. Oh, one reason I can't forget this. I'm going to get smacked by Gerald Lee and Jeremy Purick. The exit.
Ooh.
So once you're done,
you're not done.
You're up Yellow Hill. You're all done. Everybody's there on kind of that little saddle and taking pictures, and you're drinking your favorite beverage, whatever. You got like a 20-mile ride back to Highway 191.
And you can boot, scoot, and boogie down there.
Absolutely.
And depending on who you're with.
And let's not forget the dunes at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And depending on who you're with, that could be its own little Ultra 4 race.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Been there, done that. Super fun. Also super easy to get lost. You kind of come in the backside of another trail behind the rocks, and then kind of right after behind the rocks is when you hit. Don't get lost. You'll end up going backwards on behind the rocks. Don't do that. But it's fairly well marked. And then you got the dunes where you can play for
as long as you want to.
Oh man, rooster tails and jumps and it's just so much fun. So, yeah, I mean, I could go on and on about Pritchett, but that's those were the reasons in my head when you said top 3 trails, and I thought Pritchett. Yeah. That was kind of the way.
See, my top 3 is it's kind of the same basis as your top 3 or your reasons for Pritchett Canyon. But for me, like you mentioned it being more difficult, and I agree with that 100%. It's definitely a more difficult trail. I've got tougher line choices. So depending on the group that you're with, Rocker Knocker, for example, you can do the traditional line where you turn your steering, 25, 35 degrees out, you bounce and you do the dance, you hop up on the boulder, you Z-turn it out and you're good. Then you have the other guys. I don't have the horsepower for this, but you have some people who
I know where this is going.
Just send it up the front end.
Right up the middle.
So most videos, if you guys watch, if you type in Pritchett Canyon on YouTube, a lot of videos, if you see someone with all 4 tires off the ground, it's probably Doug for one. And if it's not,
no, it's definitely Diesel.
It's someone out there, but that it's probably on Rocker Knocker
for sure.
That's become a favorite line of people to just try to get up the front end on that without doing the slow technical crawl.
God, it's so fun.
But depending on the group of people, you can have diehard enthusiasts who've been wheeling Moab for years, and that they will only take the line that has you do the dance and Z turn out. Then you have the other group of guys,
the traditionalist,
full send up the front because it's more about getting to the next obstacle.
And I've done both. I mean, you get a different feeling either way. I mean, it's a sketchy feeling doing that dance. Yeah. Looking out your window, I've wheeled a lot of places. And I still get those butterflies when I get up on that and I'm turned this way and I'm turned.
Oh, it's off camber.
It's nerve wracking, man. It really is. Because you just, in the back of your mind, you're always thinking, is this the time I roll over? Is this the time?
Which leads me.